So a few people have asked recently who are new to the channel about the way that we trade and our trading strategy. And I always say this, the one thing that you need to be concentrating on is not taking low probability trades. So in this video, I'm going to quickly break down what I look for each time I try and get into a trade, my morning analysis and things like that. And this will give you an indication and kind of highlight the way that I trade. Now, I don't do a lot of strategy videos because, again, I've always mentioned they're everywhere and people will strategy hop. And it's the psychology side of things that you really, really need to be concentrating on. And part of that psychology is not taking garbage trades. Most of you can trade. I say this all the time when I work with people. They come with a strategy. They come with all the good foundations. But what's happening is they are engaging in terrible, terrible trade locations. And that's where the patience then comes into your trading. So in this video, I'm going to break down where I trade from. I'm not going to go over the whole thing, but just to give you an insight of the things that we do and obviously how I help people along the way in relation to getting their mind right. Because again, I must stress, it's not that you don't know how to trade. Unless you're a brand new beginner watching this channel, you don't know. It's not that you don't know how to trade. It's that you are taking far too many garbage trades. And the garbage trades are for the brand new traders. The garbage trades are for you and I when we first started getting into trading. That's how we learn to trade, to only take big, high probability setups. That's the key to trading. And that's where the patience comes in. You've got to sit on your hands. So let me hop over to the charts and just show you quickly. Now, I've got a couple of lines on here, which I've left from last week's analysis. Okay. And we start from a higher term time frame basis. Now, that's not to say that we have loads of things going on. It's that our levels where we trade from are from the higher term time frame basis. You've heard me speak about the previous daily high, the previous daily low, opening range, and session highs and session lows. Sometimes there's a Fibonacci in there, etc. I won't go over that now, but I'll keep it very, very clean and very, very simple for you so you can follow this way of trading. So as you can see on the charts right here, I've just left these on from last week, right? So this is where traders, just in here, get messed around. You can see this zone in here. Let me put an outline on that as well. Let me put an outline so you can see it as well. So you see this zone here. This is where traders are getting messed around, okay, for the way that I trade. There are scalpers out there that would probably disagree. So what I don't want to do is I don't want to get involved in any real price action in that zone. I want to confirm that price is going to give me the levels that I want and the rejection or the buyers and the sellers to come into the market. I'm not going to go over bookmap or anything like that. I'm just going to purely show you price action because price action is king. Now, you can see that I don't want to get involved in this, and I call this TGZ, which is a 10 garbage zone. I do not want to get involved in anything in here at that moment in time. But what I'm looking for is looking for weakness below or at a level that I'm looking to get into the trade. And as you can see just here, if I bring that here, you can see which is our last week's low, which was the prior week to last week now. Once we come and get acceptance back below one of those major levels, which is my major level, I'm looking to then take this trade to the downside. And as you can see right here, if we zoom in right onto the charts, you can see that I then get a trigger. And one of my triggers, or the trigger that I use, is a 3-candle formation with a retest. That there is a grade A setup for me from a major level of support or resistance. I say support or resistance as point of interest, a major point of interest. And as you can see, I look for this pattern here and I look for a retest. And my target is going to be where's the last time that we moved away from. Now, as you can clearly see that this is going to be my target for that move to the downside. And if I just show you the risk to reward setup, what would have been on that, I would have got in here, I would have gave myself some room there, and then I'm looking for that. Now that would have been a nice 4 to 5R, depending on the way that you take trades. Now, what I will say is this. Make sure you have a predetermined plan before you get into any trade. And that should come from your morning analysis, your pre-market analysis. Whether you're going to be looking at 1.8R because you have the data, whether you're going to be taking profits at a 2R or whatever it may be, or whether you're going to be moving your stop loss in to profit at a certain point, you must already have this pre-planned. For me, 20 points or a 1R, I take 50% of the table and I put my stop loss to entry. Now, some traders add as they're going on and they make a lot more money maybe at times, but their win rate may be lower. You need to maneuver and keep it as simple as possible for the way that you're trading. So let me show you another example of what I'm looking at when I talk about key levels. Now, as you can see, once we then break this low, my next key level is going to be my opening range, which was Friday's close. Friday's close for me is opening range. I keep that on my chart all week. And as you can see, we come down and we pinpoint, absolutely pinpoint that level again from a high level of interest. This is a point of interest where you're going to be looking to take trades from. And then I'm interested in the market to try and take a trade. Now, this is beautiful. Why is this beautiful? This is 8:10 on a Wednesday morning. And I trade the London session and I look to sweep Asia highs and Asia lows. And this is perfect. All major supports and resistances, or my previous daily high, previous daily low, session high, session lows. And this is a key level. So if this is a key level for me and I get the reaction that I'm looking for, as you can see, we quickly move away from my area. And you can see I get a confirmation. And then I'm looking for some sort of retest. Now, we don't get a deep retest, but we get a retest into this prior wick zone, which was here. And that then gives me the trigger of what I want to get into a long position. I will have to start with that there, and my target will initially be the first wick here, which is only a 1.5 R. Now, the minute that we break this high just here, let me just highlight this here. The minute that we break this local high, I'm moving the stops up here. The minute that we break that. So I don't need to be in the red, or I don't need a big stop loss, should I say, for long. And then what's going to happen is then I'm then going to move my stop up to here, and I'm going to let this ride, and there's going to be my target. And then we get up to here, which is going to be my target. And why do we want to only get there? Because of this section just here. And as you can see, there's my main target filled, quite happy with that trade, and then we get out of the trade. Now, in hindsight, it looks very, very simple when you're trading. When you're looking at my strategy now, it looks very, very simple. Now, this has taken me over a period of nearly 8 years now to get to the point where I'm very, very comfortable to only take 2, 3, 4 trades a week from my key levels and take that all the way to the bank. But that's because they are high probability trades. Now, if you want to get involved in the lower probability trades, that's where all the emotions are going to come in. You're going to have the triggers, you're going to have tilt and all these things. And I've made many, many videos. Nearly all my videos are on psychology. So that is something that you can obviously go over in the meantime. But you don't want to engage in low probability trades. When I was a footballer, the coach used to always say to me, where is the highest probability that you're going to put the ball in the back of the net? 6-yard box, then the 18-yard box. So if as a striker, if I'm always outside of the box, there's a high probability I'm not going to be recording 20, 30 goals a season. And that was true. You needed to be in certain areas of the pitch. So when it comes to probabilities, you are designing your edge to get you in the best possible zones to take trades. And they are previous daily highs, previous daily lows, weeklies, monthlies, session highs, session lows, because that's where the bigger players want to get involved in the market. So what I would say to you by watching this is keep your trading very, very simple. Take your trading to the level where you can be patient and wait for these levels to hit. And when they hit, execute and stand back and let the trade do what it is supposed to do. Now, you're not going to win every trade. That is something that you're not going to do. But what you're going to be able to do is nullify the low quality trades. And then you're going to be able to move to the upside when it comes to in your trading equity curve. Now, again, I don't do a lot of these videos because they're a 10 to dozen. They're everywhere. And obviously, I used to trade live on YouTube all the time. So you can kind of see how I trade. And this is a very, very simple way of trading. And for 3 years, I messed around in trading. For 3 years, I messed around in crypto. I messed around, all the scams, all those things. I got burnt by them. Then I decided to take it very, very seriously. Well, I said, this is it now. And the moment that I took it very, very seriously as a career, it changed the game for me. And I understood that simplicity is the way. Yes, you have to work hard, but you must work smart. Working smart is not engaging in low quality areas in the charts. Now, let's jump back over the charts and let's see if we can find another one to obviously round up this video. All right. So let's have a look just here. So what we've got here is a lot of mess. Now, people say to me, Fran, why don't you trade New York? I'm a family man. The afternoon in New York for me is about school time, is about checking in with the girls, is my daughters, is about making sure the wife might need in the background, and I have mentors. I teach in the afternoons. So for me, London session works out perfectly. But as you can see just here on this chart, we could have got involved in this mess just here. Say we could have got involved in this mess here. And this was a bit messy as well. But what I did see was later on, as you can see, later on in the day on Friday, this is the higher probability trade. Because what I don't want to do is I don't want to get involved in this New York mess here. All right. I don't want to get involved in that because I'm not trading in New York. But what I am looking for is what happens once structure has started to break. And as you can see, this here, not only that, what level was it? It was an Asia low, which is a session low. So what did we say? We're looking for break and retest, or we're looking for sweeps of those levels. This is a clear break and retest distribution in the New York session. And as you can see, we come down to here, we patiently wait, and then we are looking to take that short from here. What do we get? We get a beautiful free candle reversal. Not going into too much detail in that, but that's my golden goose. And then we come down here, we're looking for the short off, and that is our target. And our target is the lows. That's our target, our first target. And then our second target would be a lot lower, these highs just here, and then the prior last week's high. So when it comes to your trading, keep it very, very simple. This is what I do when I help people, whether it's on their strategy, whether it's their psychology, to get them to become a funded trader. If they're already funded, we get them to the level where they are consistently making money out of the markets. And if you need any help with that, well, you know how the drill goes. There is a link below where you can jump on a call with me personally, not my team, with me personally, to make sure that whether you're a good fit for us or whether we are a good fit for you moving forward in your trading. So hope you like this one. Have a good trading week, and I'll see you all on the next one.